Hey everybody, my name is Mark Comfort. I'm the owner along with my wife Mimi of Cruise Holidays and Comfort Tours and Travel. And today I'm just going to go over this Rocky Mountaineer trip that we've got planned for you, the AWG members trip. I think this is our 12th or 13th annual trip. And AWG's leadership, Emil and David, the group wanted to have something a little more closer to home. So I suggested this, oh my gosh, whatever it was, 8 months ago, and Emil and David approved it. So how cool is this? This is so much fun. By the way, Danny Lane will be the AWG representative from AWG on this, the headquarters on this trip, and I will be there also. I have done this trip twice before, and I want to tell you, if you've never been to the Canadian Rockies, you're in for an incredible experience. Literally, I travel the world. That's my job, right? But I have a place, second home, in Copper Mountain, Colorado, up by Breckenridge and Vail. So I know the Rocky Mountains. But I want to tell you something. The Canadian Rockies are so much more majestic, strong, incredible. They're the most scenic mountains arguably anywhere in the world. Okay, and you're going to get to see them. And you're going to get to stay in some of the most incredible places. You'll see this. Rocky Mountaineer, when we do the gold leaf, this is the key to this whole trip. I hope we made that clear to you. The gold leaf is the very, very best of what they offer. And pretty much what that means is it's the bigger trains, the taller trains, double deck trains with 180-degree visibility. You'll see that. We take the trains as a mode of transportation all the way up into the Rockies from Vancouver. And then we stay. You'll be staying at the Fairmont hotels in every place we go except for Kamloops. Kamloops is a place where we have to stop, but there are no Fairmonts there, so you're going to be staying at the best hotel in Kamloops. But remember, you've got a somewhat rural Canadian city. You'll like Kamloops, but it's you'll not be staying at the Fairmont. Okay, it'll make you appreciate the next Fairmonts that we go to. And today is June 15th, and the documents just came to us. We're reviewing all these, we're putting them together, and then we'll have them sent out to you, both physically and via email, because there's some vouchers in here that you'll need to have physical copies of. So let me go through this and talk to you about what you're going to experience. Remember, I've done this twice, so it's pretty exciting. What a perfect time of the year for us to go to this part of the world. And by the way, the Rocky Mountaineer is completely sold out all summer long. We were lucky enough to get one train car, and that train car will be just us and our group. So I'll go through this with you right now, and I think you'll be very, very impressed with everything. And then at the end, I'll go over some things for you that you'll need to know. In your documents, you're going to get the details. You'll get day-by-day details. You'll get packing tips, you'll get transfer information, you'll get everything you need to know. But so I'm going to go over the generics of all of this to get you kind of excited about it. First of all, we're all going to start out this trip in Vancouver, and most of us are going in the day before the trip leaves. So we're arriving on July 8th, and we'll be leaving that next morning, July 9th. We'll meet our Rocky Mountaineer host there, and you'll have all the details as to where we meet and when to go from the hotel to the train on the 9th. Now, before that though, would you do me a favor, if you have not communicated with Ariel in our group department here at Cruise Holidays and Comfort Tours as to whether you will need transfers from the airport in Vancouver to the hotel? We need to know that. There's many of you that are going in early, many of you are doing your own things beforehand, so we just need to know if you need transfers from the Vancouver airport to the Fairmont there in Vancouver. If you do, we will get you transfers, okay? If not, we'll assume, if we don't hear from you, we'll assume you're getting your own transfers, doing your own thing. So let's go through this. Vancouver is just such a beautiful town. This is the old Fairmont, Vancouver. Just so you know, and these magnificent old turn of the century, 20th century, I'm talking about, hotels were built by the Canadian Pacific Railroad, and they're iconic, they're unique, they're one of a kind, they're just spectacular. And this is the city of Vancouver. I don't know if you've been there, you'll know how beautiful it is. It's places like Stanley Park and gosh, just everywhere. But right on the bay there, it's breathtakingly beautiful. You know, we've been in this business 35 years, and our primary business is ocean cruises. Well, going to Alaska or ending the Alaska, starting or ending the Alaska cruise experience a lot of times is in Vancouver. And so I've been to this magnificent city many, many times, and it's special, very special. In fact, what we have lined up for you as your first WOW event, you're going to be the first group to have two WOW, second group to have two WOW events. Here it is. That night of the 9th, we will be going to do our first WOW event, thanks to Paul Kirkman of Niagara Bottling, and it's up on top of the mountain on the other side of the bay of Vancouver. So I've done this before for a financial group. It's just spectacular. You don't, by the way, you don't have to be on top if you don't want to. You have to have special permission, pay extra to do that. But the view is just incredible. When we get up there, Grouse Mountain has an awful lot of just fun, neat things. They've got a bear exhibit. They've got exhibit with fox. They've got a falcon exhibit. They've got a lumberjack show. They've got just, it's just cool. It's just fabulous. Again, it's on top of Grouse Mountain. Now, Grouse Mountain's only about 3,000 feet above sea level. So I don't think it'll have any of you will have an altitude problem. It will be a casual night that night. Everything pretty much on this trip will be casual dress. And then thanks to Paul Kirkman and Niagara Bottling, they are sponsoring a dinner at in the clubhouse there that overlooks the downtown skyline, the bay and the downtown skyline of Vancouver. It is breathtakingly beautiful. This is going to be a very, very special night. I would ask you all to thank Paul. This thing is very expensive. Wow. So thank Paul for that. And he'll be with us. Paul and his wonderful wife will be with us to share this. So this is Grouse Mountain. All of these details, when we're going to meet, everything will be given to you in your documents. And then I will be there to help you at the hotel for anything you need to know. Now, here is a great picture of the Rocky Mountaineer train. And I want you to look and notice how big the double-decker trains are that we'll be on. Those are called the Gold Leaf train cars. And we'll have one of these train cars with, that's for 70 people. So we have a viewing area up above. I'll show that to you in a minute. And then also below that, a dining area. Okay, there's the 180-degree domed rail cars that we will be on. And the best thing about this Gold Leaf is that you're up high enough to be able to see everything. And wait till you see the mountainous scenery and everything else. It's just spectacular. Okay, and there are tour guides on there that will serve us, that will give us explanations of the history and the scenery and what you're seeing and anything you need to know about this beautiful area. Okay, and again, like most train tracks, they were built to go right around in cases like this around the river, especially in mountainous areas. You can tell this picture was taken in fall because of the color of the trees. It's just breathtakingly beautiful. And you'll see, by the way, probably while we're there, we'll still see some snow-capped mountains like that. Okay, this is a good example of the Rocky Mountaineer. And on the lower level, you will see the dining set up for us. And oh my gosh, whether it's lunch or dinner, I think we have one breakfast maybe on board even. It's just breathtakingly beautiful, and the food is good. You'll be very impressed. It's all included, and gratuities for the guides are included also. Look at the seats on these. I think if I remember right, if I'm not mistaken, I think these were the seats that were made by the same company that makes seats for Porsche cars. Okay. Now, again, this is in fall, so that lady has got a little bit heavier coat than we'll probably need in July, but you will need layers, and I'll go over temperatures here in a little bit. And this is an open air area on the train car, on the Rocky Mountaineer, that obviously, wait till you smell that fresh, crisp air, and it'll be a little cooler out back. Okay, one of the highlights, and this is one of the most iconic, probably the most iconic hotel in all of Canada, and that is the Banff Springs Fairmont Hotel, built up on into the mountains. It's just magnificent, and it's above the town of Banff. Banff is a fun town, lots of things to do, lots of places to shop. It's just a great town, and we've got so much going on there. You'll love Banff. Okay, now here's the second wow event, sponsored by Tony Calaroso. Tony and I have had more fun putting this together because we thought, we are really in cowboy country. It was the cowboys that founded this part of Canada, and we're going to give you cowboy experience, okay? See the covered wagon? You'll all get to go in a covered wagon, so you don't have to act like John Wayne. Now, I'm trying to talk Tony into acting like John Wayne or riding a horse. And last time we talked, he said, Mark, if you ride a horse, I'll ride a horse. Tony said my wife, Tammy, is a better horseback rider than I am. And I said, as long as these horses are slow and will know where to go, I might do that. And then we're going to go have a barbecue picnic out in the middle of the wilderness. I think this is just going to be a magnificent, fun, typical mountain experience. You're gonna like this a lot. Look at the beautiful pond and the river that goes by it. It's just gorgeous. So, Tony, thanks so much for doing this. And Shred is obviously the company Tony works for that's underwriting this. Thank you very much. Now, arguably the most beautiful place I've ever been in the entire world. And remember, I'm a mountain guy and I live on a lake. So I love lakes, I love mountains. What could be better than this glacier colored, gorgeous lake with two mountain ranges coming together like this, and then a mountain range like this at the very, very end. You can canoe on that and kayak on that lake. There's trails to walk around it. My humble opinion, it's the most beautiful setting I've ever seen anywhere in the world, and that's called the Chateau, which is a Fairmont at Lake Louise. And there's so much to do there. We've got a couple neat things planned for you here too. Isn't that beautiful? It's just breathtaking. Now, this right here, I'm not a real early morning person. I think all of you are, most of you anyway. I'd advise you to get up early and watch the sunrise here. Those mountains that you're looking at as the sun comes up just look like they're on fire as the daylight hits those mountains. It's a magnificent sight. Okay, and from Lake Louise, when we're done there, we will end up taking a motor coach to Calgary and staying at the Fairmont there. Look at this. Is this not so beautiful? And by the way, the Fairmont in Vancouver, the Fairmont in Calgary are the two big cities. And they're right in the middle of the heart of the city. So they're walking distance to about anything you'd want to do, from restaurants to shopping to everything else. There are a good percentage of the meals included. When you get your documents, you'll find out exactly where you'll have free. We've left free evenings for you to go eat where you'd like to eat and do what you'd like to do in those evenings. And as we go along on the train cars, we'll all be talking about what we're going to do and where to go. And the guys from Rocky Mountaineer will be able to give us all sorts of tips on places to go for food or for entertainment. Okay, so with that said, oh my gosh, what a great experience. Let's talk a little bit about what to wear, which has to do with the temperatures. Kamloops will be the warmest area that we'll go to, and we're only there. We get in a little bit later in the afternoon, actually the evening time, 6 to 7 o'clock. By the way, the train experience, you'll really enjoy this because the trains are also, the tourist trains are at mercy of the freight trains. So they play second fiddle to the freight trains. So when we get into places is different all the time based on when the freight train traffic is. So Kamloops, in July, the average temperature, the heat of the day will be in the 84-degree range, give or take 4 degrees, 5 degrees. But we'll be there in evening, right? And then we're leaving the next morning. In evening, it's into the 70s, high 70s, mid to high 70s. And check the temperatures before you go. But that'll be the warmest place we'll be. Now in Vancouver, In Banff and Chateau Lake Louise will be a little higher altitude wise, so they're cooler. The average temperature there will be in the mid 70s, and that's the average high temperature, and the average low temperature will be in the 50s. So be dressed in layers, have layers with you that you can peel off if it's warmer. When I was there the last time, it was warmer than seasonal, so you never know, but dress in layers. It is resort casual almost everywhere. Couple of the places that you'll want to eat at the Fairmonts, like in Chateau Lake Louise, they have a little bit, they have nice upscale restaurants. It'll be, you're not going to wear blue jeans or polo shirt there. They'll want you to have a little more formal, not formal, but business, casual to business look there. But that's just a couple places, and those are optional whether you want to eat there or not. Now, like I told you earlier, you'll get the details if you need transportation from the airport to the hotel in Vancouver. We'll get that for you. We'll also get you transportation from Calgary, the hotel there, to the airport when we end the trip. Again, let Ariel know if you need that transportation, both in Vancouver and in Calgary. Okay, luggage is literally what the airlines allow, which primarily is 50 pounds. So if you fly business class, most people don't fly in pretty much what's called domestically, but whatever. If you do that, 50 pounds is what they allow you on the train. And Rocky Mountaineer will put it underneath or have a motor coach to take it, and they will do all the schlepping of your luggage. If you want to take a backpack or a smaller bag on the train, you're welcome to do that. Okay, keep all your important medications, CPAPs, whatever it might be, keep those with you is my recommendation. Okay, now you're going to like the exchange rate. The exchange rate right now, as of today, June 15th, is our one US dollar is worth $1.34 Canadian. So they will take our money. They'll gladly take our money. We'll have places to change our money over to Canadian dollars if you so want to. And that's a good thing. Health and travel documentations. COVID is past right now, but we've had a lot of questions asking us that because Canada was tougher, believe it or not, than we were here in the United States. So you don't need to have proof of vaccinations or anything like that. Do not need that, okay? But you will need to have a passport. You will need to have a valid passport. Make sure, look at it, be sure it's 6 months valid from the time of our return home, which is July 15th, okay? So I want to just tell you, I'm so excited about this. There's nothing like getting out of the heat of our summer and getting up into those beautiful, spectacular mountains of the Canadian Rockies. And you're going to have a trip of a lifetime, I promise you that. Then at the end of this trip in Calgary, I will tell you where AWG is going in 2024 and when. So stay tuned for that. Again, thank you to Paul Kirkman with Niagara and Tony Calarosa with Shroud for doing those wow events to make this trip even better than what it would be if you did it on your own. So I'm honored to have done this and hosted this trip with AWG now for 12 straight years. I do think this is our 13th year, as I remember. I will look forward to seeing you there. If you have any questions, your documents will be to you, like I say, by the end of next week, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, in there sometime, by the end of the month for sure. And you'll be able to look at everything. And if you have questions, most of those questions will be answered. By the way, Rocky Mountaineer's website has a great part of their website for what's called answers to frequently asked questions. Okay, thank you, everybody. We appreciate your business. You deserve and need a stress-free vacation, and that's what we're going to provide for you. See you up in Vancouver. Bye-bye.